Ridge as his wedding to Taylor begins. Brooke still doesn't know why Ridge left her for Taylor. All of Brooke's pleas to get an answer out of Ridge have failed. Brooke has been left in the dark, and no amount of support from her sisters, Katie and Donna, or from her father, Stephen, will heal Brooke's broken heart. Brooke is devastated, but she believes Thomas had something to do with all of this. We, the fans, know that's true, and so does Douglas, Steffi, Taylor, and soon Ridge and everyone gathered at the wedding will know too. Because on Monday at the wedding, a sordid truth is revealed in an unexpected way. Will Douglas play the recordings? Douglas has the audio files on his phone. Douglas was able to restore the deleted files, and it was Douglas who discovered what his father had done. How Thomas used the voice changer app to make it sound like Brooke called Child Protective Services. Douglas has the proof that Thomas did it. And after a huge argument upstairs between Steffi, Thomas, and Taylor, they're all downstairs now as the wedding begins. Steffi gave Douglas a nod and gave him the phone back. It almost seemed like Steffi was giving Douglas approval to play the files, so we'll see if that happens. But before that, we know Steffi will stop the wedding. Steffi was hoping Thomas would fess up or that Taylor would say something. But they won't, so at the last minute, Steffi will speak up. Steffi doesn't want her parents entering a marriage based on a lie. When Carter asks if anyone objects to Ridge and Taylor's union, Steffi makes a bold decision. Steffi will speak up and stop the ceremony. Steffi will spill the truth to a shocked audience as they take in what she's saying. Brooke didn't make the call to CPS. Thomas did. Ridge will be beside himself, thunderstruck, especially if Douglas plays back the recordings to support what Steffi's saying. Ridge will realize he left Brooke for something she didn't do, something that wasn't her fault, but the devious actions of his son, Thomas. Ridge will feel betrayed. And Ridge must also think that if he had just told Brooke about the CPS call as the reason why he left her, then all of this possibly could have been avoided to some degree. This Forrester wedding drama continues all week, so stay tuned. And on Tuesday, Sheila and Deacon bicker about Brooke and Taylor. Everything's been going smoothly for Sheila and Deacon, and the two have been getting closer. But look for some tension this week when Sheila and Deacon take sides in the Taylor vs. Brooke feud. Deacon will always care about Brooke, and he even recently proposed to her. Sheila has felt some pangs of jealousy because she wants Deacon all to herself. Brooke has made it clear, though, that there won't be any kind of reunion between her and Deacon. But Deacon cares about Brooke and what she's going through. Sheila's feelings about Brooke, on the other hand, are quite the opposite. So we'll see what Sheila and Deacon's conversation about Brooke will be about. And future spoilers say Sheila reacts when Deacon levies a serious threat. So we'll have to see what that's all about. It could be Deacon warning Sheila not to try anything against Brooke. Also, we could be looking at another big storyline with Sheila, one that has to do with her children. Future spoilers say Finn's detective work alarms Steffi. Rumor has it Finn might start to look into his biological family on Sheila's side, so maybe Finn starts doing research to find his siblings. Steffi might warn against it, but Finn could reason that with Sheila gone, what harm could it do? Will Finn start to look into some of Sheila's other children? If so, this is an exciting development, so we'll delve into this more soon in future videos. And on Tuesday, an act of betrayal causes irreparable harm to a once solid relationship. Ridge thought Thomas had changed. He'll come to the shocking realization, though, after Steffi reveals the truth, that Thomas hasn't changed at all. Thomas manipulated this entire situation and deceived his father. Thomas thinks the end justifies the means of reuniting his parents, but Ridge won't see it that way. Going to the lengths Thomas did, faking a call to Child Protective Services and blaming it on Brooke, setting her up, framing her, so that Ridge would leave Brooke for Taylor. Ridge will wonder who Thomas is, how he could do this. Ridge will rebuke Thomas, but it's only the beginning. Because on Wednesday, learning a sordid truth causes a fallout of colossal proportions. Ridge will find himself in an unimaginable quandary. Knowing the truth now, does he still want to marry Taylor? How will he explain all this to Brooke? But when it comes to Thomas, the consequences could be severe. Eric once disowned Ridge several years ago after Ridge had an affair with Quinn. That was temporary and Eric forgave Ridge. But could we see something like that happen again? Will Ridge disown Thomas? Thomas might even lose his status at Forrester Creations. Who knows? Thomas could lose his job. There's plenty of speculation, so we'll see what punishment faces Thomas. And how this will affect his friendship with Hope. Not to mention his relationship with his sister, Steffi, because on Thursday, Steffi and Thomas argue about the chaos that erupted in their family. Despite wanting her parents back together, Steffi definitely didn't have her brothers back after the scheme he tried to pull off. Like Thomas, Steffi wants her parents back together, but not if it's based on lies and deception. Steffi realizes there's a chance Ridge and Taylor wouldn't be getting married at all if that CPS call didn't happen. Ridge was married to Brooke and would have stayed married to her if he didn't think Brooke made that call. But Steffi knows Thomas made the call, so Steffi realizes their parents' wedding is mainly because of that. Steffi wants her parents to want to be together, wants Ridge to choose Taylor on his own, not because he was manipulated. And for Thomas, he'll feel betrayed by his sister. Thomas thinks Steffi should be thanking him for orchestrating Brooke out of their lives and reuniting their parents. Thomas will have to face the consequences now for his actions, and it's looking like a heated sibling rivalry between Thomas and Steffi may be on the way. And over with Deacon.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl vibing with Nistyle, and let's get right into another lit video. This video is I'm gonna be telling you what's been going on in the world of B&B. That means Bold and Beautiful. Off in that district of the LA fashion industry. Let's get straight off into it. We all know, let me just give you guys a recap of what has happened since I last posted. I try to, but with everything else, I go off into, getting off into breaking news and stuff that's coming out. So I'm trying to hurry up and I'm gonna get these out because it's getting good. Bold and Beautiful is getting good. So let me go ahead and tell you what's been going on. So we all know that, Sheila is back in town, but she's Diane somebody. Can't remember her last name. But she's portraying like she's somebody else. So she seduced Deacon into going along with her plan. Boom. Okay. Now, we get to where we are when everybody goes to Aspen. So let's think back. Let's go back and recap that Aspen trip. Stephanie jumped on a plane with her mom to go clear her head because her mom wanted to leave LA anyway. Because she was like, if he's not going to make up his mind and not going to come over here with this, then I'm just going to go because I can't bear, going this road back and forth, with the flirting and everything and the kissing and, you kissing a married man. See, my thing is, in today's society, you can't do that. In what book do you say where you supposed to kiss some single woman and he's a married man and his wife know about it? See, when they was in Monaco, they had kissed. And I mean, it wasn't no smack kiss. It was a full out, I want to go to bed with you, I'm madly in love with you kiss. One of them. And then they had been kissing on a slide, rubbing up, canoodling, even at the Forrester little party that they gave. I was like, and she had given him the bedroom eyes and all this in front of your stepdaughter, and it's like they was daring Hope to say anything, and she went home and told her mama, this ain't what you want. Because Taylor over there giving it all she got. So, and I can understand why she went home basically to say that. Because see, if it was my child, my child would have been like, mama, I ain't going to even lie to you. I'm going to keep it real with you. Oh, girl over there, she putting it down. My baby's not gonna come over there, mama. Well, that she was, trying to on the low key talk to him. Now my baby gonna put it up. She putting it down, mama. She She putting the moves on Pops over there, she gonna tell you the truth. Now see, that's the way they language is. Our language is different. Mom, you need to get over there and get your man. Come on, Mom. What is you do? What is you putting up? What is you putting down? Because you ain't gonna have no men at the Y. You you know. So, with all of that being said, then into the voice app. Douglas is playing with this voice app at the Forrester Mansion, tricking everybody into thinking that like he tricked I think he tricked Mr. Forrester with, that's the matriarch. Everybody knows that's the matriarch of the family, uh Donna's teddy bear or honey bear, as she called him. And so Mr. Forrester says, what? Say what? So he thought that he was like, where's Donna? And then here come Douglas from behind the couch. Douglas didn't had his phone in his hand. He was like, ain't this cool, granddaddy? Ain't this cool, grandpapa? This app, I can say something and then it'll record Donna's voice and then it'll say it in Donna's voice. So he was like, okay, he laughed about it because he was finna be like, oh, here we go, honey bear. He was finna go into that mode till Douglas came from behind the couch. So the voice app was being used, and listen, y'all, I'm sorry, my stomach is growling. It's early Monday morning and I have not ate, so I'm trying to get these videos out to y'all. So Douglas is playing with the app around his dad. Then his dad gets an idea in his head. So, that's the time when Brooke was coming over there and they, her and Taylor had got into it, and Mr. Forrester said, y'all need to get yourselves in order and whatnot. So this last time she came over there and he was playing with the knife in front of Douglas. And she said, you don't think that's dangerous? Blah, 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 that type of thing. And she made it, she insinuated that, she would do something about it, she could. And, how, Thomas is. Thomas is arrogant. He think nothing can be done once he gets his hands on it. This was before the Forrester fashion show for the Hope for the Future. He already had been putting moves on Hope. So soon as the knife situation came up, and then that night he did the voice apps. He did the voice. I think that's when he did the voice app, and he changed her voice, and he made it the next morning or the next day, CPS came to the house. He didn't call the CPS on himself. On himself, y'all. He didn't call the CPS people on himself. Bam. So, but using Brooke voice. So He told his dad, he prolonged it, but then he said, uh, it was Brooke, and they had the divorce, and said that, yeah, it was your wife and all this man, whoever this man was, said that, yeah, it was, I think it was the one Lawrence off in Ashby. I'm not for sure, but I do know it was a man that said, yeah, that it was definitely your wife that called. Bam. So once that happened, let's see what else happened. So then, once I knew that something was gonna go down because he went over there. He didn't tell Brooke what had happened, but he was very upset at her once he found out that that was her on the phone call, even though the viewers know it wasn't. So, he had been playing around with this in his head, but not telling her, but then being distant. So he was out there on that balcony, and he said he had an epiphany, a pine cone hit his head, and he jumped on the first jet and went to Aspen once he found out they was leaving town. She called her daddy, and it was just, I knew he was going to run to her. But as soon as he found out, they prolonged it as long as they could because they know that they going to lose some viewers, B&B producers, if they don't hurry up and and I don't care about them throwing whoever you throw up under the bus to, cause if you're gonna make Thomas a villain, you're gonna have to make it come out. Just like when you make Sheila the villain, it's gonna have to come out. Nobody wants to sit and wait a month on a villain to be caught. Now catch that villain, move on to the next drama scene, and we good. They prolonged it as much as they could. So when they did go to Aspen, and he flew out there and he pronounced his love, whatnot, to her, Brooke followed, and she went out there. She finally got out there, and she asked him, "Why are you here? Why are you here now? What are you doing? Well, just come home." She wanted him to just come home, talk to her. He didn't, and he still didn't tell her. He still didn't tell her what Thomas had did or said about her, or the phone call to the CPS, or none of it. I feel like he should have, but he didn't. That's your wife. You should, if you leaving her, you should give her a whole reason why you leaving her. He didn't give her a reason, but he knew he was still in love with her. So you basically gonna leave the woman you love to go be with another woman you don't love, but you been wanting to do this for a minute. See, you're the cheater in the relationship. See, I've been saying, say what you want to about Brooke and all the people she done been with. She done owned up to this stuff. She done owned up to being with the brother. She done owned up to being with Spencer, with the Spencer guy. She done owned up to being with the guy that's in the Navy that came back. Jack Wagner. I think that's his real name. But Deacon, she done owned up to being Deacon, then being with Deacon, and being with her daughter's husband. She done owned up to all of this shit. So my thing is, why he can't never own up to the women he done been with? Cause he didn't left her for some females too. He didn't left her for Taylor, I don't know how many times. They've been going back and forth for years. That's why she was back on here this time. Why don't you find her another somebody? But anytime you find her somebody, here come Brooke. Yeah, he yummy too. So y'all still have find them pit against each other instead of teaming them up. But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so basically that whole scenario played out. She went back home, she cried, she mourned. Now this is her mourning her husband. And here comes Stephanie outside to tell her, rub it in, tell her it's not gonna work. But before all of that, y'all know that when he was there, when he got down there, that they called Donna and them, and they was like, yeah, we together, blah. Mr. Foster and Donna looking at each other like, what? What? No, Thomas couldn't wait to tell his granddaddy and Donna. I just don't feel like I just feel like, that was preempted, and I was like, yeah, okay. Now we see what's going on. So fast forward to the fashion show, the night of the fashion show. Liam did not want to be there because he was seeing that Douglas was being pulled away from him. And he was the day before, a couple of days before, he was looking at them all canoodled up together, the same way the daddy was with Taylor. And it was odd because I'm like, damn, Hope, you not seeing that this man got the whole damn dummy up in the dummy doll up in there, and he dressing the doll like Hope. Are you kidding me? They done bought the damn doll back. And she didn't even tell her mama that he bought the doll. How the doll end up in there? Because you was supposed to get rid of the doll. So I'm like, Steffi, are you? I'm like, Hope, are you serious? This man got a problem. He ain't.